Welcome back to Poshcats Camping. I'm Trev and this is Smurf, our VW Crafter van conversion by IH Motorhomes. This is a collaboration video with a number of other YouTubers that are friends of ours now. Most of them we've met. And we've got a shared subject this month. It's the tools that we carry and the repairs that we've done to our motorhome or caravan whilst we're away. That's easy for me. I'm a retired Sparky. Well, I was in the olden days. I love my tools. I've still kept a lot of my tools. So let's have a look and see what I carry in the motorhome when we go away. Now in the boot here I've got a large plastic box with a lid, and it contains all of the small loose objects in one big box. Let's open the lid on this box and see what we've got inside. And in these little sealable, very useful boxes, I think they're called, we've got a number of different things. I guess you might call them tools. Let's have a look in this one. A little multimeter. Now I found the multimeter very useful when it's come to checking fuses, for example. With the little prongs here and with the right setting, you can test the fuses. And it is only a tiny multimeter, but it still works well. And of course a lot of the fuses in a motorhome look like these, and I've got a box of various different colours fuses here. Don't know if you can see those from there. I'll try and zoom in on it for you. But they're all different colours, and the different colours are for different ampage, so they're all different sizes for different purposes. And I keep them in a little tin like that so that I don't lose them. Other tools I have are things like the little brass thing that always goes missing when you want one, and that's for a tap. I've got a little multi-pin, square multi-pin plug. Great little tool for putting in the van if you need an extra socket or two. And then of course if you're away on your relative's drive, you can plug this into their garage or into their outside socket, and you can go on their electric on your hookup. So that's a great little device. Again, not exactly a tool, but it's very useful to have. Also in this box I've got a little mini tool set, and in here all the little tiny sockets that you can use on a screwdriver. So the thing I like about this, it's got a little tiny adjustable spanner, which I recently used on a tap when we were on a campsite, and then a little pair of long nose pliers as well. And under this flap here there's the small screwdrivers for really small jobs, and then a series of heads and sockets which fit on this little screwdriver handle. I hope you can see that. I'll try and zoom in for you. And that's a really handy little box. Of course, with a van like this, we're limited for space and weight, so all our little toolkits need to be compact and useful. If they're not, there's no point in taking them. So that little mini tool set, but you could probably get something like that for under £20, and it's really useful to have. This is the box I think that we're really interested in, and it is another one of these really useful boxes with a sealable lid. And this is what this video should be all about, really. And most of the time you can get away with these. Now these little things, I've got a bag of these here, there's quite a few of them, are cable ties. Most of us have seen them, most of you know what they are. You push that end into that end and they tie and zip together. You can actually put 2 or 3 together and make them much longer. So there's a bag of those, always useful to have in the motorhome. bungees. There's several bungees that, again, very useful for tying things down. But I tend to, oh my goodness, more cable ties. It just goes to show, doesn't it? These are smaller ones. Just goes to show how useful they are. Now this little tool is really handy. They're called two different things: long handled pliers or plumber's grips, and they do extend. Great if you've not got a proper gas bottle wrench. You can use this to undo the nut on the top of your gas bottle, and all sorts of other little things. Even getting pegs out of the ground, sometimes they're handy to have. A little hammer. Now I don't bring a large hammer purely because of the weight. I find that a little hammer like this will knock your pegs in. It is not, you know, the weight of the hammer always, it's just the way you tap the peg. Trust me, I've had really big hammers and all I've ended up with is bent pegs. So a little, what my friends would call a toffee hammer, but a metal hammer like that. Side cutters, again, an electrician always has a pair of side cutters with him. A small pair of electrical pliers. These are not the full size ones, they're small ones. If you have to strip a little piece of cable or something like that. Adjustable spanner. This is a fairly medium sized one, 200mm it says on it. A draper, just literally an adjustable spanner. We've all seen those before. A flat screwdriver. This is a medium sized one, I'd say. It's one of the spare ones I carry around. And then I've got another little pair of pointed nose pliers. There was a pair in that box, but these are slightly larger pointed nose pliers. Handy for getting things in awkward places. Then we've got a couple of little terminal screwdrivers. This one's insulated right to the end, and this one has interchangeable ends. So you've got a Phillips style that end and a straight end that end. And that one's handy to clip on your pocket when you're doing a little job. So there's two of those. Very handy to have. Some electrical connector block. You can break off one or two pieces of this and connect cables together. Always handy to have in your box. Got a little spirit level here, which often we used to use these on caravans. You usually fit one on the tow hitch, so you can see whether your unit is level or not. We've got another spirit level inside for that, and it's a little boat level, about, I don't know if I can find that, but it's about a foot long, and we just stand it on the floor rather than the worktops, because if the worktops aren't level, then your van's not going to be level. But 9 times out of 10 the floor is, as long as you don't get it on a bump in the carpet. So there's a little spirit level. What else we got here? A Stanley knife, really sharp Stanley knife. This one's a retractable one, so there we are. Really nasty blade in that if you catch your hand on it. A couple more screwdrivers here, one with a straight end, one with a Phillips style end, cross head. And then I've got a series of Allen keys here. These are the popular ones, small through to large. You can get all different metric and imperial. These are metric ones. Most of the things in this van are metric, so we've got those. I spoke about this earlier, didn't I? A Calagas spanner. Now we don't have a Calagas bottle because ours is an underslung tank, but for some reason, and for very good reason, I carry this, because once again I'm on a campsite with people who forget theirs, and I say, I've got one of those. And then of course there's insulating tape, and there's a couple of rolls of that in here. This is a red roll, we've got some black in here as well. And I do carry a few screws and nuts and bolts. There's a few nuts, bolts, and there's a bag of screws in here as well. And they're just sort of a generic, so there's 1 or 2 different size ones in there, just for the odd fix, mend. in case you need them. There's some smaller ones there as well. So that's a bit about it on the tools. I have got one other one that I keep inside the cab, and I'll grab that for you now. So here it is. It's one of those that you can put in your pocket. It's a little bit heavy, but the nice thing about it, and I'll try and zoom in so you can see this a little better, but the nice thing about this is that it clips on your belt, and if you've got a number of little jobs to do, you can swing out these and clip them into place. And now I've got a straight end screwdriver. If I pop that one in and bring this one out, I've got a crosshead, a large crosshead screwdriver, and they're all different sizes. This is the smaller crosshead. They literally clip into the handle and swing out and lock into place like that. So now I can use the body of this as a screwdriver. So don't forget to watch the videos in the playlist. I'll put a little tile on the screen here somewhere, and I'll also put a link in the description below which will take you to the playlist of all the other YouTubers that are telling a similar story, and they're also going to be talking about some of the repairs that they've done. And we'll see you on Friday with the next in the series from France. Take care, see you soon.